Do not go gentle into that good night, by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men, who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way, do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men, near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Okay, so this poem was written by Dylan Thomas in 1947, and it was later published in 1951. Dylan Thomas was born in 1914 in Wales, and later died in 1953 at the young age of 39. Alright, so let's start with the structure of this poem. The structure is a villenée, which means it has 5 3-line stanza and a final 4-line quadrant. The first and third lines of the first stanza repeat, and these 2 lines complete the final quadrant as a couplet. Alright, so let's go through each stanza individually. So the first stanza, like I said, for the villenée, it shows that the 2 lines will repeat. Do not go gentle into that good night, and rage, rage against the dying of the light. And also brings up a common theme that we're going to see of old age and how it should burn and rave at the close of day, how it should live to its final moment. Alright, so the next we see highlighted in green are the kinds of men that Thomas highlights and how they approach death. So wise men, they know and understand that dark is right, that death is right, that they can't get around death. However, because their words had forked no lightning, that they feel their words had no impact, that because of this they do not go gentle into that good night. The next stanza is good men, who are crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. The frail deeds are deeds that they once felt were good and made them good men. They now view them as frail and how they could have accomplished greater things. And because of this, they rage against the dying of the light. The next is wild men, who caught and sang the sun in flight, meaning they live life to the fullest. Yet they learned too late that they grieved it on its way, that while they were living life to the fullest, they hadn't realized they were doing this because they were grieving their own lives. They were grieving their own death before it happened. Next is grave men, meaning older men, people near death, who were seeing with blinding sight and blind eyes. They didn't realize that their blinding sight and their blind eyes, meaning they're old, they could still blaze like meteors and be gay. They could still find joy in the remaining moments of their lives. And because of this, they rage against the dying of the light. And finally is a personal message to his own father from Thomas, who at the time of writing this poem was also dying. And he writes, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears. So curse and bless mean opposites of each other. So what Thomas is saying here is you can do anything. Curse or bless me. Do anything to me now with your fierce tears. And he prays for this because while his father is still alive, he wants him to live his life to the fullest, which is the common theme in this poem, is living your life to the fullest. And finally, the last couplet of the final quadrant combines the 2 lines together, the 2 repeating lines. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And this connects to the final message of while you are here, while you are living, make the most of your life. Do not go gentle into that good night. Do not just live life going into your death gently. That live every day in your life to the fullest and rage against the dying of the light. Rage against death. Fight against it and live your life to the fullest. Thank you. I actually really enjoyed this poem. I was glad it was on the list. And thank you.